Have you ever felt like history as you know it is just the tip of the iceberg? That they are entire chapters, stories of incredible triumphs and devastating tragedies that have been lost to time or intentionally hidden? Well, today we're diving deep into one of those stories. A forgotten chapter so astonishing it will completely change how you see the world. Let us travel back to the year 1816. You might remember it from your history books as the year without a summer. Across the northern hemisphere, the weather went haywire. Snow fell in June in New England. Frosts destroyed crops in July in France. China experienced catastrophic floods, while India suffered from a delayed and altered monsoon season, leading to widespread famine. It was a global climate crisis of epic proportions. But for centuries, no one knew why. The official explanations at the time ranged from sunspots to divine punishment. The real answer was hidden half a world away, on a small island in what is now Indonesia. In April of 1815, a volcano named Mount Tambora erupted. And this wasn't just any eruption. It was the most powerful volcanic eruption in recorded human history. 100 times more powerful than Mount Vesuvius, which buried Pompeii. The explosion was so colossal, it was heard over 1,600 miles away. It shot a column of ash, gas, and rock, nearly 30 miles into the sky, into the stratosphere. This massive cloud of sulfur dioxide and ash spread around the globe, forming a veil that blocked sunlight. It was this volcanic aerosol layer that plunged the world into a mini ice age, creating the year without a summer. The immediate aftermath on the island of Sumbawa was apocalyptic. The eruption and the tsunamis it triggered wiped out an entire kingdom, the kingdom of Tambora. Before 1815, this was a thriving culture, known for its honey, horses, and a unique language that scholars now believe may have been completely unrelated to any other in the region. Archaeologists excavating the site, often called a Pompeii of the East, have found homes buried under feet of ash, with skeletons of people caught in the exact moment of the disaster, trying to shelter from the pyroclastic flows. They uncovered artifacts, pottery, and bronze bowls that hint at a sophisticated and prosperous society. An entire civilization, with its own language, culture, and history, was literally erased from existence in a matter of days. For over a century, their story was completely forgotten. Now think about the global domino effect. The crop failures in Europe and North America caused food prices to skyrocket. This led to food riots, social unrest, and a massive wave of migration. The year without a summer was a major driver of westward expansion in the United States, as desperate families in the Northeast abandoned their failed farms and sought a new life on the frontier. The economic hardship was so severe that it contributed to one of the first major financial depressions in American history. In Europe, the situation was just as dire. The misery and starvation fueled political instability. In Switzerland, the constant rain and gloom confined a group of young English writers to their villa by Lake Geneva. To pass the time, they decided to have a competition to see who could write the scariest story. One of them, a teenager named Mary Shelley, had a waking nightmare inspired by the bleak, unnatural weather. The result, her novel, Frankenstein, a masterpiece of Gothic literature born directly from the ashes of Tambora. Another member of that group, Lord Byron's physician John Polidori, wrote The Vampire, a story that would heavily influence Bram Stoker's Dracula. So, two of literature's most iconic monsters were born from a volcanic eruption thousands of miles away. The chaos also spurred innovation. In Germany, the famine led to a shortage of oats for horses, which were the primary mode of transportation. A German inventor named Karl Drey was determined to find a new way for people to get around without relying on animals. His solution was a two-wheeled wooden contraption you propelled with your feet. He called it the Laufmaschine, or running machine. You might know it better as the Velocipede, the direct ancestor of the modern bicycle. That's right. The invention of the bicycle was a direct consequence of the Tambora eruption. And what about those altered monsoons in India? The environmental stress caused a new, highly virulent strain of cholera to emerge in the Bay of Bengal. This deadly new strain, spread by British troops and trade ships moving through the disrupted global networks, sparked the world's first cholera pandemic. It swept across Asia, the Middle East, and into Europe, killing millions of people over the next several decades. It was a global health catastrophe with its roots in a volcanic blast. So let's connect the dots. A single volcanic event in Indonesia wiped out a kingdom, created a global climate crisis, triggered famines and riots, pushed American pioneers westward, inspired the creation of Frankenstein and the modern bicycle, and unleashed a deadly pandemic that ravaged the globe for decades. It's a chain of events so dramatic it sounds like fiction, but it's all true. And for so long, this incredible story was fragmented, its pieces scattered across different fields of study: geology, history, literature, climatology. With no one putting it all together, the story of Tambora is a powerful and humbling reminder of how interconnected our world truly is. It shows how an event on one side of the planet can have profound and unexpected consequences on the other. It also reveals how fragile our civilizations can be in the face of nature's immense power. But most importantly, it highlights how much of our own history remains hidden, waiting in the archives, buried under the soil, or simply waiting for someone to connect the dots. What we learn in school is often a simplified, streamlined version of the past. The real story is always messier, more complex, and infinitely more fascinating. It makes you wonder what other Tamboras are out there. What other hidden events have shaped our world in ways we don't even realize? The past is not a closed book. It's an ongoing investigation. Every new discovery, every uncovered artifact, rewrites what we thought we knew. So next time you read a history book, remember the story of the volcano that changed the world. Remember that behind every date and every famous name, there are countless hidden stories and invisible connections shaping our reality. The truth is out there. We just have to be curious enough to look for it. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey into a forgotten chapter of history. If you found this as mind-blowing as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that history forgot. Let me know in the comments what hidden historical event you think more people should know about. See you in the next video.